Right, it's Sunday the 17th of November, and as you can see we've got the engine in. Mark was kind enough to give us a hand to get it in, and what a pain in the arse it was. If you can remember the last time it was on the stand, well, we slung it on, we've got the clutch on, everything was done. Smoke tested it, found out there was a little bit of a problem with the exhaust manifold, the one that comes out of the turbo onto the main pipe, onto the downpipe. Sorted that out, hour and a half of filing, just like being an apprentice again. Got that on, got it all together, filled it with oil, cranked it over. Oil was coming out of it, you know, like out the top of the pipe where your turbo goes. So now it's being charged up, so we're ready to start it up. Well, Mark's gone now anyway, but putting it in, pig of a job. Why? Well, it was our own fault really, because, you know, I've got a couple of long guide studs here that were screwed into the back of the engine. Well, actually we had three, but I don't know where the other one's gone. But anyway, we had three, and so far so good, it's working. But we were messing about for ages, only to realise that one of the studs that was in the engine, there was no hole for it at the opposite side, and we had that butted right against the that stumpy bellows, and there was nowhere for it to go. So we were messing about for ages, and then we pulled it back a bit to sort of have another attack, and I sort of said, "Hey Matt, there's an hole there." So not only did we do that, we got that done. Then I realised, if you remember on a video, well, you'll see a video shortly because all my videos are mixed up, but we replaced the dowels at the back of the engine, the little tiny ones that's supposed to go into the bell housing to keep it all nice and square. No holes in this one either, so JP made us some dowels, and that was a waste of time, so we had to take them out again. Next problem, here. As you know, I've got my balance beam here, but the problem with these 200 TDIs and TDs and stuff like this, the engine mounts right at the very back of the engine, naturally. And when we had this on, we didn't realise it at the time, but this bit was banging against the rubber seal for the gutter rail on the back of the bulkhead. What a mess about. It was just a little bit, so I've got to sort of redesign some hooky type linkages on here for next time. Maybe put this shackle directly onto the eyes, the lifting eyes, without the hooks. Then we can get that even lower still. So that was a problem. I knew it would be an issue. Let's move this around a bit. Getting the power steering pump in, because we had the power steering pump attached to all the hoses, and I thought as we're putting it in, we'll be able to wiggle that in and get around it. But the hoses here, like industrial hoses, really stiff hydraulic hoses, so there wasn't any flex on them. So that was a bit of a nightmare to do. We got it in. You can see the hoses rubbing against the alternator. I don't think that'll be much of a trouble. One other problem I've got to face is the hose here. Now that's the original hose. We were given these silicone hoses, and you can see there's a plate behind here for the air conditioning. Well, that pushes the hose into such a position it's getting kinked. So what I've done is I've ordered from Amazon a 90-degree bend, and this is 1.25 inch diameter. So I've ordered a bend, and I'm hoping it will go in a stainless steel bend with barbs on, to get away from that problem but still retain these hoses. So that's going to be a lot of fun, isn't it? Wiring, yeah, that's all to be done. Again, more fun. We had to take off, we were so tight, we had to take off the fuel filter to get that in, to get it messed about. Yeah, not like a 300 TDI where you can sort of knock them in and out in next to no time. This is just a bit of a chew on. You can see down here, perhaps, that JP made a bolt, a special bolt that goes here. Wait a minute, that clips in its way. Maybe you can see it now. that little special bolt. It's 10mm with a 1/2 inch diameter shaft on it, and that clamps the pipe on for the oil feed. Now whether that's going to be successful or not, I do not know. Yeah, not too bad, but tricky. I'm glad Mark turned up when he did, because we're sort of a little bit so far behind. Anyway, what else? Well, let's have a look at the exhaust, and you can see some of the problems I've got, because we were given lots of hangers in a, not a kit, but the owner purchased them individually. But I think we've got one that's wrong. Stick around and have a look. Right, so here we are under the car. We're having a look at this exhaust on this 200 TDI. It has to be one of the worst brackets up there to fasten on. You can see it? You can maybe see it around here. There, you see that bracket just here. Yeah, that thing there. Horrible thing to put on. 2 bolts there. We're talking about the black bit and the little M6 bolts that go through the exhaust onto that bracket. You can't get your hand in. I don't know what they were thinking of. It's a nice exhaust because it's, you know, a good sized diameter. This is a little bit close to the chassis. Not too worried about that so far. This is a bracket that goes on your gearbox mount. Not too bad there, but I'm thinking that that's bent at a wrong angle, so I'm going to have to warm that up and bring it down to get it on. Now you can probably see it was a bitch to get on. These bolts here are very close to the rubber, so when you get your spanner in, it tends to jam up and you can't get your spanner out. But you've got to put that rubber on to this bracket and this one prior to fitting this bit. Well, that's a bit tricky. I think I'll have to undo this bit again, lift it up and hook it on. There's another bracket to go onto here. Now where's that one gone? That one. Alright, so that's easy one because we can put the rubbers through there and pull that pipe up. But we've got to do that one first. That's interesting. It's an interesting pipe. I can't remember seeing one of these on a 200 TDI. The pipe itself goes preciously close to that wiring. The exhaust, that's not good news. You see it's a Britpart one. There's a bracket that goes on the top of there. We've got that one on. This pipe here doesn't seem to want to line up. I don't know what's going wrong there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that thing. That's another bloody headache, isn't it? Seems to be alright up to there, and then it goes down. But I wonder if that bracket that we've got up there is too high. Might be. I'll have to have a look in the book. Let's go and look at the tailpipe. Right, this is at the back. We just put this bracket on just temporarily, but this is the one it's supposed to be. ESR 95, 30, how much was it, 38 quid from Land Rover. You must be joking. But that one goes underneath, and it goes back there, if you see what I mean, underneath. So I've got a sneaking feeling that that bracket on that side is not the right one. Anyway, let's see what we can do today. So what else have I got to do? Today I've got to knock out 25 clutch forks. I've got to make them. I've already got the bushes. I've got to remachine the forks to put the bushes in and weld them all up. They've been selling like hotcakes recently, so I got caught with trousers down and I got some stock, but I hadn't done them. So today, Sunday, I've got to get them done. Other news, I'll show you. I was having a problem with my Isuzu with low oil pressure once I switched the filters over. Now, the problem with my Isuzu is it was a truck engine. And it's a 1984, I think it is, or no, 89, I think it is. And trying to find the real filters for it was a nightmare. So anyway, I came across some filters in the States, genuine Isuzu filters. So this is a regular oil filter sort of thing, but this is what's called a bypass filter. So some oil goes back into the sump. Well, I had an aftermarket one which was completely different. It only had 2 holes in here. So I don't know what was going on with that. Anyway, I've managed to find some filters that were on specials from a company, a diesel company down in the States, for like, I don't know, $30 for a pair. What was it? I can't remember. I think it was about $30 for a pair. So I bought, American. So I bought 3 boxes of them. All right, so that was good. Except there was a problem with the filter threads. See, this was the original one. This was for this filter here. It actually was a parallel thread, and this one was even worse. See there, there's a little restrictor hole in it. But again, it wouldn't fit in that way, but it would fit in that way. JP again to the rescue with his new and improved CNC machine, and he knocked me up 2 adapters. There's one with a hole in, a tiny hole, 22mm and 22mm here, 20mm here. So now I can get stock filters at a reasonable price, genuine filters. And this is the filter housing, really funky, eh? Because mine's a turbo, and I'll explain it in a minute. I'll put this on here to stop them up getting in. There, fit beautifully now. Because mine's a turbo, the turbo power oil feed comes off here. So putting a regular like cartridge filter on it wouldn't work. I need that bit, and this bit here, this outlet here, goes to my injector pump to put oil into the injector pump. So it's about, what time is it now? It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to wait till it warms up a little bit because it was like -5 this morning. And I've got to crawl under my truck and do that. That's important. So while I'm waiting for it to warm up, I'll get on with those clutch forks. There's a lot more videos to come for this engine. I know sometimes it drags on a little bit, but I didn't want to do like a 5-hour video because people get bored, so I just do it in little sections, that's all. Yeah, we should have this done. I'd like to get this finished whilst it's still in the shop, you know, because I can get access on my lift up and down, no problems at all. You'll see when I do the exhaust there, I took the wheels off because my engine hoist has got legs that's like splayed apart a little bit, you know, to get the weight. But on the, what side would this be? This would be the right hand side. It hits the wheel. It's just a little bit tight. So put it on the lift, take the wheels off, and then you can get all the way around with the hoist. Not a problem. I'm looking forward to getting this running, but I'm certainly not going to rush it. All right, so that's, I think, is all our news for now. See you later.